you stopped caring. The wrong sunglasses age you faster than a decade of sun damage. These small pieces carry enormous weight, and most men have no idea they're getting them wrong. Here's what separates well-dressed men from everyone else. They understand that accessories aren't afterthoughts. They're finishing touches that complete a look or unravel it entirely. A perfectly fitted suit means nothing with a cheap watch and a flimsy belt. A simple jeans and shirt combination becomes sophisticated with the right timepiece and quality leather goods. The problem is that accessories are where bad advice thrives. Trends move fast, marketing pushes flashy over functional, and men end up with drawers full of pieces that don't work. Too trendy, too cheap, too loud, or simply wrong for their age and context. After 40, the rules change. The accessories that worked in your 20s look desperate now. The pieces that signal maturity and refinement are different from what Instagram influencers are pushing. You need fewer accessories, but better ones. Less flash, more substance. Quality that whispers rather than shouts. Today I'm breaking down 10 essential accessories every gentleman over 40 should master. The pieces that elevate, the mistakes that undermine, and the specific products that deliver what you actually need. Everything is linked below. Let's refine the details. 1. The Classic Timepiece. Your watch communicates more than the time. In a world obsessed with smartwatches and fitness trackers, the Classic Timepiece has become a statement of values. It says you appreciate craftsmanship over convenience, that you understand something shouldn't be disposable, that you've reached an age where notifications on your wrist feel more like interruption than connection. The smartwatch makes sense for the gym. It makes sense for tracking health metrics. But on your wrist during a dinner, a meeting, or any moment where presentation matters, it reads as utilitarian at best, juvenile at worst. A classic timepiece reads as refined, intentional, and permanent. This doesn't require spending thousands. It requires choosing a watch designed to last decades rather than until the next software update. Mechanical or quartz, both work. What matters is quality construction, timeless design, and a face that doesn't require charging every night. The sweet spot for most men over 40 is a clean dial, a case between 38 to 42 millimeters depending on wrist size, and either a leather strap or steel bracelet. Avoid complications you don't need. Avoid bezels designed for activities you don't do. Simplicity signals confidence. TISSOT PRX delivers Swiss craftsmanship at an accessible price point. The integrated bracelet design echoes luxury pieces at a fraction of the cost. Clean dial, versatile size, and the kind of quality that lasts. Your watch should outlive trends. Choose accordingly. 2. The leather belt. A cheap belt undermines everything above it. Most men treat belts as purely functional, something to hold pants up, grabbed without thought, replaced only when literally falling apart. This approach guarantees that a belt will be the weakest link in any outfit. Cracking leather, peeling edges, a buckle that's lost its finish. These details register subconsciously with everyone who sees you. The gentleman's belt is an investment that pays dividends for years. Full-grain leather that develops a patina rather than deteriorating. A buckle with weight and quality finishing. Stitching that's tight and intentional. These details compound into a piece that elevates rather than detracts. Width matters for proportion. Dress belts should be 1.25 inches, slim enough for suit trousers without looking insubstantial. Casual belts can go up to 1.5 inches but rarely beyond. Anything wider reads as costume or workwear. Color simplicity serves most men best. A dark brown belt handles 80% of situations. Black covers formal needs. That's the entire collection most men require. Save the exotic leathers and unusual colors for men with unlimited wardrobes and time to coordinate. Match your belt leather to your shoe leather, not exactly, but in the same family. Brown belt with brown shoes, black with black. Breaking this rule is possible but requires intention most men haven't developed. Anderson's leather belt represents Italian craftsmanship at its finest. Full-grain leather, quality hardware, and construction that improves with age rather than falling apart. Your belt should be the last thing anyone notices because nothing's wrong with it. 3. The sunglasses. Wrong sunglasses age you faster than the sun itself. Men over 40 make two common mistakes with eyewear. Wearing frames designed for 20-somethings or wearing the same outdated pair they bought a decade ago. Both approaches fight against you. The first looks desperate, the second looks neglected. Neither serves a gentleman's presentation. The sunglasses that work after 40 are classic shapes executed well. Wayfarers, aviators, refined rectangular frames. These silhouettes have worked for decades because they complement most face shapes without chasing trends. They're recognizable as quality without screaming for attention. Frame proportion matters enormously. The frame should complement your face shape without overwhelming it. Too large and you look like you're hiding. Too small and the effect is pinched and awkward. The top of the frame should roughly follow your brow line. The bottom shouldn't rest on your cheeks. Quality shows immediately in sunglasses. Cheap hinges wobble, cheap lenses distort, cheap frames lose their shape within months. Investing in quality eyewear means better optics, better durability, and a piece you'll reach for confidently rather than tolerating. Stick to neutral frames, black, tortoise, dark gray, gold, or silver metal. These work with everything and don't compete with your clothing. Save the colored frames and mirror lenses for much younger men. Ray-Ban Wayfarers remains the benchmark for good reason. The shape flatters nearly everyone. The quality is proven across generations. They've never looked dated since 1956. Protect your eyes with frames that protect your image. 4. The Pocket Square. The pocket square separates men who dress from men who dress well. Most men skip this accessory entirely, assuming it's too formal or too fussy for modern life. Others go too far, exploding puffs of silk that look like magic tricks gone wrong. Both miss the point. A pocket square done correctly adds polish without announcing itself. It's the detail that completes a jacket without demanding attention. The secret is restraint. A white linen pocket square with a simple fold handles 90% of situations. It reads as intentional without trying hard. It works with suits, sport coats, and blazers across every level of formality. It's the foundation every man should own before exploring the patterns or colors. Fold matters. The presidential fold, a clean rectangle showing about a quarter inch above the pocket, is foolproof. It's not boring, it's confident. Save the elaborate puffs and points for men who want their pocket to be the conversation topic. When you do add pattern or color, echo something else in your outfit without matching it exactly. A pocket square that picks up a subtle color from your tie or shirt creates cohesion. A pocket square that perfectly matches your tie looks like it came in a box set, because it probably did. Fabric determines formality. Linen and cotton for everyday, silk for evening and formal occasions, wool for winter texture, never synthetic anything. Eaton's white linen pocket square delivers the essential piece every gentleman needs: quality fabric, perfect weight, and the versatility to work with everything you own. One small piece, enormous impact when done right. 5. The ring. Less is more on your fingers, especially after 40. The rings that work for men over 40 are simple: a wedding band if married, and perhaps one other meaningful piece with restraint. That's the entire playbook. Anything beyond becomes costume jewelry, aging you while announcing you're trying too hard. Wedding bands should be understated. Classic metals, gold, platinum, white gold, in simple profiles that don't compete for attention. The trend toward elaborate bands with patterns, stones, or unusual materials often reads as overcorrection. Your ring should complement your hand, not dominate it. Width matters for proportion. Wider bands suit larger hands. Narrower bands work better on slimmer fingers. There's no universal answer. Try different widths before committing to something you'll wear daily for decades. If you wear a second ring, a family signet, a meaningful inheritance, keep it on a different hand than your wedding band. And keep it simple. Ornate class rings and chunky designs that might have worked decades ago now fight against refined presentation. Avoid rings that look like jewelry for jewelry's sake. If there's no meaning behind it, leave your fingers clear. Clean hands with a simple band read more sophisticated than fingers cluttered with metal. MEJURI bold signet ring offers a classic silhouette for men who want something beyond a wedding band. Substantial enough to register, restrained enough to avoid flash. Your hands should look capable, not decorated. If these details are clicking, hit subscribe. I break down timeless style principles for men over 40. No trends, no fluff, just what actually works. Subscribe now and let's continue. 6. The wallet. Your wallet reveals more than you realize. Every time you pay, every time you show ID, every time you pull anything from your pocket, your wallet makes an impression. A bulging, overstuffed mess says you've lost control. A Velcro closure says you've stopped caring. Cracked leather and worn edges say you don't value quality. These impressions happen instantly, often unconsciously. The gentleman's wallet is slim, quality leather, and organized. It contains what you need, not receipts from 2019, not loyalty cards for stores that have closed, not a stack of cash that makes sitting uncomfortable. The modern wallet should be minimal because modern life doesn't require carrying everything. Bifold versus card holder depends on what you actually need. If you rarely carry cash, a slim card holder makes more sense than forcing a bifold format. If you need currency, a bifold with minimal card slots prevents overstuffing. The goal is the slimmest profile that serves your actual requirements. Leather quality separates wallets that last from wallets that deteriorate. Full-grain leather develops a patina over years of use. It gets better. Bonded leather and synthetic materials crack and peel. The premium you pay for quality leather returns in longevity and appearance. Color should be practical. Dark brown handles most situations. Black works for more formal wardrobes. That's all you need. 2 options covering every possible context. SHINOLA Bifold Wallet delivers American craftsmanship in a slim profile. Quality leather that ages beautifully and construction that lasts years rather than months. What you carry says as much as what you wear. 7. The bracelet. Bracelets work for men over 40, but the margin for error is razor thin. One subtle bracelet on the opposite wrist from your watch can add quiet personality to an outfit. 2 bracelets look cluttered. Chunky chains look like you're auditioning for a reality show. Leather wrap bracelets with branded hardware look like souvenirs from a vacation you should forget. The bracelets that work are understated, a slim silver or gold bangle, a single strand of subtle beads in neutral tones, a simple leather cord with minimal closure hardware. These pieces add texture without demanding attention. They suggest you've made choices rather than grabbed whatever was available. Metal should complement your watch and other accessories. If your timepiece is steel, silver-toned bracelets create harmony. If you wear gold, match accordingly. Mixing metals is possible but requires intention that most men haven't developed. Scale matters. The bracelet should fit your wrist without sliding around or feeling tight. It should look proportionate to your arm, substantial enough to register, slim enough to avoid dominating. Most men err toward too large, which emphasizes the accessory rather than complementing the whole. When in doubt, skip it. A bare wrist looks better than a wrong bracelet. This is an accessory that enhances when done well, but subtracts significantly when done poorly. MIANSAI's Aero cuff bracelet hits the exact right note, substantial enough to matter, clean enough to complement rather than compete. Subtlety wins, 1 maximum. Choose wisely. 8. The tie. The tie isn't dead, but the rules have changed. Men over 40 often fall into 2 camps, abandoning ties entirely or wearing them the same way they did in 1995. Neither approach serves you. Ties remain powerful tools for signaling professionalism and intention. They've just become more selective in application. When you do wear a tie, width matters. The modern standard sits between 2.75 and 3.25 inches, wide enough to feel substantial, slim enough to look current. Anything wider reads dated. Anything narrower reads like you're trying too hard to be trendy. Pattern selection should lean toward restraint. Solid knit ties offer texture without complexity. Subtle stripes and small-scale patterns work with most shirts. Save the bold paisleys and novelty prints for men who want their tie to tell jokes. Length is non-negotiable. The tip should reach your belt buckle. Too short looks like you borrowed from someone smaller. Too long looks like you've given up on proportions entirely. Knot selection depends on collar style and personal preference, but the 4-in-hand works for nearly every situation. It's slightly asymmetrical, deliberately imperfect, and impossible to get wrong. The Windsor knot has its place but easily overwhelms shorter or narrower frames. Drake's woven tie delivers the quality and proportion that modern tie wearing requires. Substantial silk, perfect width, and colors that work with virtually everything. When you choose to wear a tie, wear it correctly. The details matter more now. 9. The scarf. Winter separates men who dress from men who just stay warm. The scarf is functional, it genuinely keeps you warm, but it's also one of the highest impact accessories available when temperatures drop. A quality scarf adds color, texture, and intention to winter outfits that otherwise become shapeless layers of survival. Fabric determines both warmth and impression. Cashmere is the gold standard. Light, incredibly warm, and unmistakably luxurious. Merino wool offers similar warmth at lower cost. Avoid acrylic and synthetic materials that pill instantly and look cheap regardless of pattern. Size matters more than most men realize. A scarf should have enough length to wrap comfortably and enough width to provide actual warmth, not a thin strip that reads as decorative. Approximately 70 inches long and 12 inches wide handles most needs. Color should complement your outerwear without demanding attention. Navy, charcoal, and camel are foundational colors that work with virtually any coat. Burgundy and forest green add subtle personality without overwhelming. Save bright colors for men who want their neck to be the focal point. The drape and wrap signal intention. A scarf thrown on carelessly looks like an afterthought. A scarf draped with purpose, whether a simple once around or a Parisian knot, looks like a choice. Learn 1 or 2 knots and apply them consistently. Wolf & Badger's cashmere scarf represents decades of expertise, cashmere quality that lasts decades, and warmth that justifies the investment. Winter is no excuse to stop presenting well. The scarf proves it. 10. The bag. What you carry your belongings in broadcasts how you carry yourself. The backpack from your commuting days doesn't work anymore. The messenger bag that's falling apart hasn't worked for years. The briefcase your father carried looks costume-like in modern contexts. Men over 40 need bags that serve current life while signaling current success, not remnants of previous eras. The modern gentleman's bag balances professionalism with practicality. Structure matters. It should hold its shape when set down, not collapse into a heap. Hardware should be quality metal that operates smoothly. Leather should be thick enough to feel substantial without adding unnecessary weight. Briefcases still work in formal professional contexts, but read as traditional. Slim portfolios serve similar functions with less visual weight. Messenger bags and crossbody options work for less formal settings. The choice depends on your environment and what you actually need to carry. Size should match function. A bag oversized for your actual needs looks like you're compensating. A bag too small forces awkward overstuffing. Be honest about what you carry daily and choose accordingly. Color consistency matters. Brown leather works with most wardrobes. Black suits more formal contexts. Navy and dark green offer subtle alternatives. Whatever you choose, ensure it coordinates with your shoes and belt. Not matching, but harmonizing. The Ferragamo Firenze briefcase delivers Italian design sensibility with quality materials. Structured enough for professionalism, refined enough for sophistication. A bit of an investment piece, but one that will pay off over the years. Carry what you need in something that carries exceptionally well. 10 accessories. 10 opportunities to elevate or undermine everything else you wear. The common thread is intentionality. Every piece mentioned today requires thought. Not obsession, but deliberate selection. The watch you choose to wear when smartwatches are everywhere. The belt that quietly signals quality. The sunglasses that protect while refining. Each decision compounds into an overall impression. Most men over 40 haven't audited their accessories in years. The watch still works, so why question it? The belt still holds pants up. The wallet still carries cards. But working isn't the standard. Elevating is the standard. And accessories are where that elevation becomes most visible. Start with the gaps. If you're wearing a fitness tracker to dinners, consider a timepiece. If your belt is cracking, replace it before it fails. If your sunglasses are scratched beyond function, invest in quality frames. These small upgrades require modest investment but create immediate impact. Then refine the details. Add a pocket square to your jackets. Evaluate whether your bag serves your current life. Consider whether a quality scarf would transform your winter presentation. Layer these improvements over time until every accessory works as hard as the clothes they complement. The details tell the story. Make yours worth reading. Everything I mentioned is linked below. The next step is simple. Click the video on screen. I'll see you there. Because gentlemen don't overlook details. They master them.